For years, we've been told to follow your passion. It's one of those phrases that sounds good in theory, but in practice often leads to frustration and burnout. But what if the idea of passion as the driving force behind success is a bit misleading? Let's flip that narrative and dive into what truly fuels growth and achievement: the feedback loop. The myth of do what you love. Let's get one thing straight. Following your passion isn't the ultimate career advice. Sure, Steve Jobs once said, "Love what you do." But if we only focus on the passion part, we miss the bigger picture. And that's not just me speaking. Even billionaires like Mark Cuban and Marc Andreessen have openly criticized this passion mindset. Cuban went so far as to call it the worst advice you could ever get. So why are these successful entrepreneurs so adamant that follow your passion is overrated? Because passion alone can't sustain you, especially when things get tough. Passion is a fleeting emotion. What keeps you going is something deeper: feedback. The real catalyst. The feedback loop. Think of the feedback loop as the engine behind your motivation. It's the cycle that propels you forward, not the romantic idea of doing what you love. Here's how it works. You take action. You start a project, launch a product, or share your work with the world. The world responds. People either engage with your work, buy your product, or provide feedback, positive or negative. The response fuels you. When you get validation, whether it's in the form of praise, sales, or even constructive criticism, it reignites your drive to keep going. This constant back and forth between effort and response is what keeps the fire of passion alive. Without it, that initial excitement can quickly fade. Why passion fades? Without feedback. Let's say you start a blog. At first you're excited, filled with ideas and ambition. But after a few posts, nobody's reading. No likes, no shares, no comments. What happens to your passion? It evaporates. It's easy to lose motivation when the world isn't responding. Now imagine this. You publish that same blog post, and within hours it goes viral. Suddenly, the feedback is pouring in. Comments, likes, shares, and even people reaching out to you for advice. That's when your passion kicks back into high gear. This is the feedback loop in action. When people show that they value your work, your energy to continue grows. The power of results. It's not just about passion, it's about results. Passion follows results. When you start to see that your work is making an impact, whether in small or large ways, that's when the enthusiasm really starts to build. The reason athletes smile when they're winning is because the results validate their effort. The same goes for entrepreneurs, creators, or anyone working toward a goal. Think of it like this. Imagine you're building something from the ground up. You put in the hours, the sweat, and the struggle. But when the results start to show, whether that's a successful product launch or a growing audience, the feeling you get isn't just satisfaction, it's passion. The feedback loop makes you fall in love with the process again. A new definition of passion: purpose-driven action. So here's a twist. Passion doesn't come from doing what you love. It comes from doing something meaningful and getting the feedback that tells you your efforts matter. This is where purpose comes in. When you're driven by a clear sense of purpose, a strong why, you're able to endure the discomfort and setbacks. That purpose keeps you going, even when the work isn't glamorous or fun. For instance, look at someone who starts a business because they want to solve a problem they care deeply about. Their purpose gives them the stamina to keep pushing through even when things aren't going well. The feedback from customers or clients, when it starts to pour in, validates that effort and reignites their passion. The feedback loop in action. The feedback loop doesn't just work for bloggers or business owners. It's at play in every success story, from small startups to huge corporations. Take the story of an entrepreneur who starts a business with little experience. At first it's slow, but as the business gains traction, positive feedback starts to come in. Sales, customer testimonials, growth in brand recognition, and the entrepreneur feels more passionate about their mission. A perfect example is the founder of Chipotle, Steve Ells. He didn't start Chipotle because he was passionate about fast food. His original dream was fine dining. But when customers flocked to his fast casual concept and the money started rolling in, his feedback loop kicked in. Passion followed. He went from doubting his decision to fully embracing his new venture. Passion isn't the goal, impact is. Here's the takeaway. Passion isn't something to chase. Passion is the byproduct of positive feedback. It comes when you're doing meaningful work that makes an impact. So don't focus on what you love to do. Focus on what works. By building a business, creating art, or pursuing any endeavor with a strong sense of purpose and a commitment to adding value, the feedback loop will drive your passion. It's not about doing something for the sake of passion. It's about doing something that matters and letting the world's response keep you moving forward.